And no joke, the atmosphere in Hong Kong that night was already electric, but no one expected what would quietly unfold behind the scenes of BLACKPINK's Deadline concert. Tens of thousands of fans filled the venue, lights glowing like a galaxy as the opening beats echoed through the stadium. Screams erupted, chants rolled like thunder, and from the very first second, it was clear this was not just another stop on a world tour. Something about the night felt bigger, heavier, almost historic. Even before anyone knew why, BLACKPINK stepped onto the stage with the confidence of artists who know exactly who they are and what they represent. Every move was sharp, every note controlled, every moment designed to pull the audience deeper. This was Deadline in Hong Kong, intense, polished, and emotionally charged. Yet while the crowd was focused on the stage, a silent message of respect was waiting elsewhere, one that would soon ripple across the internet and ignite global conversation. Without loud announcements, without cameras flashing at the moment it arrived, a large floral arrangement bearing a name known across generations appeared. Jackie Chan, a name synonymous with discipline, legacy, and global influence. The revelation came quietly, but the impact was anything but small. Jackie Chan had sent flowers to BLACKPINK during their Deadline concert in Hong Kong, and the meaning behind that gesture immediately sparked curiosity. In Asian entertainment culture, sending flowers is not a casual act. It is a language of respect, acknowledgement, and recognition. When someone of Jackie Chan's stature sends flowers, it is not about publicity. It is about legacy meeting legacy, about one global icon recognizing another force that has reshaped culture on a massive scale. This single gesture instantly reframed the night, turning a powerful concert into a symbolic moment in entertainment history. As the concert progressed, BLACKPINK delivered performance after performance that justified every ounce of their reputation. Their presence commanded attention, their chemistry was undeniable, and their connection with the audience felt almost intimate despite the scale of the venue. Fans weren't just watching a show, they were experiencing a chapter of a story that has been building for years. A story of four artists who transcended the boundaries of K-pop and entered the global mainstream on their own terms. Then, as images of the floral tribute began circulating online, reactions exploded. Fans around the world paused, replayed, zoomed in, and asked the same question: what does this mean? The answer wasn't found in any official statement, but it didn't need to be. The message was clear. Jackie Chan, a figure who represents decades of hard work, perseverance, and worldwide respect, had acknowledged BLACKPINK's impact. Not as a trend, not as a passing phenomenon, but as artists who have earned their place. This moment added a new layer of depth to the Deadline tour. It wasn't just about ticket sales, sold-out venues, or viral performances anymore. It became about recognition across industries, across generations, and across cultural boundaries. BLACKPINK were no longer only dominating charts and fashion headlines. They were being acknowledged by legends who shaped global entertainment long before social media existed. Midway through the night, as the energy inside the venue reached another peak, fans could feel something shifting. The concert felt like more than a performance. It felt like a statement. Every song carried extra weight. Every cheer sounded louder. Every light stick waved with more pride. Even those who didn't yet know about the flowers could sense that this Hong Kong show would be remembered long after the final note faded. And if you're still watching right now, this is where the story gets even more interesting. Because moments like this don't happen randomly. They are the result of years of consistency, global influence, and undeniable presence. Jackie Chan did not need to say a word. The flowers said everything. They said that BLACKPINK's reach has extended beyond music charts into the very heart of global pop culture history. As the concert moved toward its later stages, BLACKPINK continued to prove why they stand where they do today. Their performances balanced power and precision, emotion and control. The crowd responded with unwavering devotion, creating a feedback loop of energy that made the night feel endless. This was not a fleeting viral moment. It was a carefully built legacy unfolding in real time. Online, discussions deepened. Fans analyzed the symbolism, media outlets highlighted the connection, and the narrative grew stronger by the hour. A legendary martial artist and filmmaker acknowledging a global girl group might seem simple on the surface, but in reality, it represented a bridge between eras. One generation built the global stage. Another learned how to command it in a completely new way. As the final songs approached, the sense of closure felt bittersweet. The Deadline concert in Hong Kong had delivered everything fans hoped for and more. It delivered spectacle, emotion, and a quiet but powerful reminder that true influence is recognized without needing headlines or announcements. Sometimes, respect arrives in the form of flowers. Now, before this story ends, take a moment. If you're enjoying deep narratives like this, if you appreciate understanding the meaning behind moments rather than just the surface-level headlines, make sure you stay connected. Stories like these don't just happen. They're uncovered, explored, and remembered by people who care enough to look closer. As the lights dimmed and BLACKPINK took their final bows, one thing was undeniable. This night would live on, not only in fan memories, but in the larger story of global entertainment. Jackie Chan's gesture was not about surprise. And even after the last echoes of the music faded, the story of that night refused to end. Long after fans left the venue, long after the stage lights were turned off, the meaning of that single gesture continued to grow. Because what happened in Hong Kong was not designed for headlines, yet it became one. Not because it was exaggerated, but because it felt authentic, rare, and deeply symbolic. In an industry where attention is often loud and fleeting, silence can be powerful. Jackie Chan did not step onto the stage. He did not release a statement. He did not seek the spotlight. Instead, he chose a traditional, respectful gesture that spoke volumes without saying a word. And that is precisely why it resonated so strongly. Fans understood immediately that this was not a marketing move. It was recognition that BLACKPINK, on the other hand, continue to do what they do best. They let their work speak. Their performances that night carried a confidence that comes from experience, from years of global stages, cultural barriers broken, and expectations exceeded. Every transition, every vocal moment, every synchronized movement reflected artists who are no longer proving themselves, but defining standards. As conversations spread online, many began to see this moment as a quiet confirmation of BLACKPINK's place in history. They are not just riding waves of popularity. They are shaping the current era of global pop culture in a way that demands acknowledgement even from those outside the music industry. When a figure like Jackie Chan notices, it signals that the impact has reached a level that cannot be ignored. What made this moment even more compelling was its timing. Deadline is not just a tour name. It feels like a statement. A declaration of presence. A reminder that BLACKPINK are operating on their own timeline at their own pace, with full control of their narrative. And in Hong Kong, that narrative gained an unexpected layer of depth. Fans who attended the concert later described the atmosphere as unforgettable. Not just loud, not just exciting, but emotionally charged. There was a sense that everyone inside the venue was witnessing something that would matter long after the tour moved on to its next city. Something subtle, yet powerful enough to be remembered. This is how legacy works.